Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jayden, the host of this cricket podcast. This video will be on the recently concluded West Indies vs England Apex Test series, in which the West Indies was victorious 1-0. Before we get into this video, please like, subscribe and share with your friends. Now this has been a topic that has been on my mind for a very long time, and more recent I decided to speak about it because of the latest series, the West Indies versus England Apex Test series. Now, this is a common question asked from journalists, commentators across the Caribbean. Where are the West Indies fans? I heard several interviews, I saw players post on their stories when they were speaking to journalists across the world that when they were playing in the first two test matches, it felt as if they were playing in the UK. Now, I'm going to read a quote from Michelle Hewitt, who said, "If I have a brand and when I look at it, the brand is not visibly supported by the people I need it to be supported by, is my brand really successful?" Now, with that being said, we always are critical when the West Indies players are not playing well. We celebrate when they're doing well, but yet there are no support in the stands. I really think that in order for us to be neutral or give our opinions when they are not doing well, is that we have to come in our numbers, especially in the home games when West Indies are playing. In Grenada, the third test match, in which was the only game that West Indies won, but the only game that a decision outside of a draw was given. And I really think that has to do a lot with the fans. Many may say that is the pitch that helped a lot, but I really think that the fans actually played a big role in the victory of the West Indies. We saw them dancing, singing, rallying around the West Indies as they should. Unlike when we were in Barbados and Antigua, all we could see was the tourists with the shirts off, singing the Barmy Army song, and the DJs just playing Sweet Caroline. And I think that really and truly, that if you're playing a home game, it should feel like home for the players and not only for the tourists. Yes, you may say that the tourists bring in revenue to the countries. The tourist is our main source of income in many of the Caribbean islands. But I still believe that there should be some kind of balance when it comes to the home visitors and the tourists. You may say, well, there is a balance because the ticket prices were half price for the locals. But yet still, many did not turn up. But that then goes back to the same quote that I read earlier from Mr. Hewitt. Some of the other points that were given to me were that a lot of the fans or supporters were not fully vaccinated. I really don't believe that is the case, because it was evident that a lot of them were vaccinated at the latter part of January when the T20s were being played, when the stadium was completely packed for the five match T20 series against England. The match was completely packed. It was both locals and the tourists, and it was a good atmosphere for both of the supporters that were actually at the venue. Now, when it comes to the fans coming to the home game, my main priority is Test cricket, but I think it also starts at the regional level, where the BCA has to put something in place. The Trinidad Cricket Board, the Antigua Cricket Board, Grenada Cricket Board should try to involve the local supporters, give them incentives to come to the games, help them to rally around the boys. And it's evident too in CPL, in the regional 4-day cricket that was in February, there are not a lot of supporters at these venues. that that's out of the way, let's get straight into the first and second test match, which was played in Antigua and Barbados respectively. Now, the visiting captain Joe Root won the toss and elected to bat first. Under a bit of pressure from the West Indies team in the first session of the day, only being able to score 48 runs for the loss of 4 wickets. Jonny Bairstow came into the crease, and as I mentioned in my review video of the squads, that he's one of the key batsmen to watch out from England. He scored 140 runs from 259 deliveries to help put England in a commanding position, scoring over 300 runs for the very first time in a very long time. The outstanding bowlers for the West Indies is young and exciting fast bowler Jayden Seales, who got 4 wickets for 79 runs from 22 overs. Other bowlers in the wicket columns were Jason Holder, Kemar Roach, and Alzarri Joseph with 2 wickets apiece. For West Indies' first innings, West Indies managed to score 375 runs, with skipper Kraigg Brathwaite scoring an uncharacteristic 55 runs off of 70 deliveries, coming off the fantastic form that he had when he scored his double hundred in the first class season a couple of weeks prior to this test match. West Indies' number 4 batsman also showed his ability to bat long at the crease, scoring 123 runs off 355 deliveries. There were starts from Kemar Roach, Jason Holder, and Da Silva, but they were not able to push on. The key bowlers for the England team were Overton, Jack Leach, and Ben Stokes, who got 2 wickets apiece. In the second innings of this test match, there were hundreds from opening batsman Jack Crawley, who scored 121 runs off 216 deliveries, and captain Joe Root, who scored 109 off 204 deliveries. They managed to score 349 runs for 6 declared. The key bowlers for the West Indies in this innings were Alzarri Joseph, who got 3 wickets for 78 runs off of 23.2 overs, and Kemar Roach, who got 2 wickets for 53 from 19 overs. West Indies was under pressure going into the last day of the test match, with England declaring for 349 for 6, leaving the West Indies roughly 70 overs to try to save this test match. Opening batsmen Kraigg Brathwaite and John Campbell had a 50-run partnership, but both fell before tea on the last day. Nkrumah Bonner and Jason Holder, they had to stand up, and they batted superb, both getting into the 30s, not able to save the test match. The second test match that was in Barbados was very similar to the first test match, with both captains scoring 100 in the first innings of the game. England won the toss and decided to bat first again, scoring 507 runs for 9 declared, with skipper Joe Root scoring 153 runs off of 316 deliveries, and vice captain Ben Stokes 120 off 128 deliveries. The key bowlers for the West Indies in that first innings is Veerasammy Permaul, got 3 wickets for 126 runs, and Kemar Roach with 2 wickets for 68 runs. In the second innings for the England team, they scored 185 for 6 declared in 39.5 overs, with 5 out of the top 6 getting starts, looking to accelerate, pushing on quick runs. But fast bowler Jayden Seales and left arm spinner Veerasammy Permaul got 2 wickets apiece to help ease up the pressure from the West Indies and brought a declare from England. West Indies were left in a similar position from the first test, having to battle the day to either win the test match to try to go after the runs or try not to get bowled out. Captain Kraigg Brathwaite scored 56 runs off 184 deliveries, and wicket-keeping batsman Joshua Da Silva scored 30 runs off of 63 deliveries. The key bowlers for the England team in that innings is Jack Leach 3 for 36, and Mahmood 2 for 21. Now, I'll bring it on the screen the stats of the players after the first 2 test matches. The most wickets in the first 2 test matches from both sides was Jack Leach, who got 11 wickets. And the most runs for the West Indies team, skipper Kraigg Brathwaite, 304 runs, averaging 101.33. And the most runs for the England side is captain Joe Root with 284 runs, averaging 71. Now, these first 2 test matches, one of the main problems were the pitches. It has been said from the players, people that were at the grounds, and many journalists across the Caribbean and the world mentioning pitches and saying that there were nothing in the pitches for the fast bowlers or for the bowlers in general. Sir Curly Onrose mentioned that the pitch was just lifeless. There was nothing in the pitch at all. Kemar Roach actually spoke out and said that the pitches in the Caribbean are a bit of a concern. There is no enjoyment for fast bowling anymore. There is no pitch that you can identify that you want to go and bowl as a fast bowler. It's all dead tracks now. It's a bit of a concern for me as a fast bowler. And I really think that something needs to be put in place or something needs to be done that our fast bowlers, especially with the rich history of fast bowling that we had over the years, that the pitches should support the fast bowlers, especially the West Indian fast bowlers. Now on to the third test match, which was held in Grenada. The West Indies won the toss and elected to field first, which is mainly because there was something on the pitch that was not seen in either Antigua or Barbados, a bit of green grass. The fast bowlers from the West Indies took a liking to this pitch, had England under a bit of early pressure, with the score being 114 for 9. With the only top order batsman to get into double figures is opening batsman Alex Leach with 31 runs of 97 deliveries. However though, England managed to rebuild with the 9-wicket punch of 90 runs between Jack Leach and Shakib Mahmood to help push England over the 200-run mark. In West Indies' first innings, West Indies is under a bit of pressure also. Their top order crumbled just like the English innings, scoring 95 runs for 6 with the low order left to rebuild as usual. Wicket-keeping batsman Joshua Da Silva scored his maiden Test 100 to help push West Indies past the English first innings lead before the West Indies was bowled out for 297 runs. Now in the second innings of the England team, there was another collapse. England was bowled out for 120 with only 3 batsmen getting into double figures. Alex Leach, the opener, with 31, Jonny Bairstow with 22, and Chris Stokes with 19. The outstanding bowler for the West Indies was Kemar, getting his maiden 5-wicket haul. He got 5 wickets for 18 runs in 17 overs, which put West Indies in a commanding position to win this test match. West Indies later went on the first session of the last day to score the runs in about 20 minutes. They scored 28 runs without loss in 4.5 overs, winning the test series 1-0.
Mommy, I'm returned.
I had to mute the audio from this video because there was a lot of music in the background, but I hope you enjoy the next clip.